Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Fred McLeod. Welcome to the Quicken Loans Arena. I might say the new and improved Quicken Loans Arena. As you know, the transformation process has been ongoing, and obviously it's a fantastic place. It continues to be even better. And as you look at the artist rendition of the finished product, which is only 9 months away, think about it, in August, we'll see this view from Ontario Street, and it's going to be one of the finest arenas, of course, in the world. Obviously, this is a very exciting day for not only the NBA, but the Cleveland Cavaliers and, of course, all of Northeast Ohio with the news that's about to come. It's going to be the 75th anniversary of the NBA. Imagine that in just a few years, which really ties in beautifully to 1997, the last time we had an All-Star game in this particular building. And what a special weekend that was. It was the 50th year celebration of the NBA. And remember, the 50 greatest players were in the building wearing those leather jackets. The East beat the West. And Glenn Rice was the MVP, you may recall. It was the first and only time, I think, someone from the University of Michigan was actually cheered in this building. But certainly a lot of memories then, and we're about ready to make some great memories coming up for sure. And to now make it official, let's welcome the Commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you very much, Fred. Without further ado, it's my honor and privilege to announce that the 2022 All-Star Game will be held here in Cleveland, Ohio. At what will then be the transformed Quicken Loans Arena. And I just want to echo what Fred said and offer a few thank yous myself. First of all, to Dan Gilbert and Len Komorowski. I can't really do justice to the number of discussions, I don't know if I should say pleading, but passionate pleas to bring the All-Star Game back here. And it was something when the discussions began with the civic leaders here about the transformation of the Quicken Loans Arena. I think we all felt that it was only fitting, if that was something that could be done, if this public-private partnership could be completed, that it only then made sense to bring another All-Star Game here to Cleveland. And as Fred pointed out, there is real symmetry to 2022 because in 1997, and I was with the league at the time, and I was here when we had the 50th All-Star Game and celebrated the 50th greatest players in the league at the time, and it was a very memorable event. And I'm sure with Dan and Len and their great organization that we're going to be planning similar things for 2022, and we'll also make this another remarkable, outstanding event in NBA history. So thank you for that. I also, just a few other thank yous to Mayor Jackson, who promised me he would still be mayor when we said 2022, and he looked at a calendar and he said, we'll see. But anyway, it couldn't happen without him. Armin Budish, thank you. I know, day in and day out, this was something you worked so hard on, and we really appreciate that. Congresswoman Fudge, I know behind the scenes, I don't know if you have the power in Washington, D.C. to make All-Star games happen, but you seem to in this case. And thank you, though. Thank you for being here today. And Dan and Kevin as well. It was really a group effort. And what we were saying before we came out here today is I won't make any comment about national politics right now, but they work on a local level. And I can say that in all of my activities around the country in working on arenas and all-star games and the kinds of support that we see for our teams in these communities, they wouldn't happen without bipartisan leadership, without cities, counties, and states working together. And this is a model example of that happening just here today. So lastly, I'll just say that 2022 will be coming sooner than we all think. It's right around the corner, and I know that we're already beginning to plan on, as you all know, it's not just an all-star game anymore, but it's essentially a week's worth of activities. So we're going to be thinking of things to involve not just the city, but the entire county in events that we can do to celebrate the sport of basketball. So thank you all very much for being here today.
No one is more proud of what this day means to the city of Cleveland than the chairman of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dan Gilbert. Thank you.
First of all, that suit is just unbelievable, Fred. Kind of knew it I thought it was Austin for a second, He's always wanted to dress as good as Austin. Now you're in the same league. You compete. It's great. So I'd like to thank everybody on the stage, from the folks here from Cleveland, Kevin and Dan, and Marcia Fudge, and Armin Budish from the county, and, of course, the mayor, who, by the way, the first time I met the mayor was roughly, I believe, 2006-ish. We had bought the team in 2005. It's been 13 years, believe it or not. And since that day, I've been talking to one commissioner, who's no longer the commissioner, is retired, as you know. And when you're a rookie owner, just like you're a rookie player, when you ask for things like, how about the All-Star game in Cleveland, they give you a look, and they don't even respond for a while. So then a couple years later, they respond, say, well, we'll talk about it. And then a few years after that, it's, well, maybe. And then we had a new commissioner, and we started the process all over again. And we started, I think, initially 2018, 19, and 20, 21. But we knew sooner or later we'd get it. And, of course, working with the great people up on this stage here in the public-private partnership that was able to come together on the local level and redo this beautiful building. I mean, us as a tenant in the county, and, of course, the Gateway as the landlord, working together to provide long-term investment into this great facility that's not only going to allow the NBA All-Star Game, but I'm sure other types of events in the future here that we probably wouldn't have a shot or a chance at getting. And it puts Cleveland on the stage for the whole world to see, which is great for the region. And, you can't measure all this stuff and how important it is and how valuable it is to the future growth and the reputation of a city like Cleveland, which is clearly on its way back in a big way. So partly due to, or mostly due to a lot of people on the stage here. So thank you all for all your support. We're looking forward to hopefully have a player or two on that NBA All-Star game, or in that NBA All-Star game. It gives us a few years to do that, but I believe. So thank you all.
I want to really congratulate Mr. Gilbert and Cavaliers organization on really achieving the All-Star game for Cleveland. And also welcome the commissioner back to Cleveland. Every time he comes, he brings good news. So I welcome you back to Cleveland. As was mentioned, this would not be possible if it were not for the partnership between the Cavaliers organization and the county and the city in particular. And what I like most about Mr. Gilbert and the Cavs organization, they made it possible for us to have a deal. Many times when we're asked to be partners in a private-public partnership, it becomes a very difficult challenge. But they made it so that it made it much easier for us because of the terms that they were willing to agree with. So I want to really thank the Cavaliers and Mr. Gilbert for doing their part, which I don't think they've gotten full recognition for. But for that, we would not have this All-Star game. So again, congratulations and thank you very much.